Peace and blessings, everybody. It's Sunday, March the 4th, I believe. It may start to rain, so we'll see how far we get today. We may have to pick this up tomorrow. But I've been looking up videos on YouTube on how to replace the Chevrolet Silverado door hinge pins. And Aaron, if you can do a close-up on this, notice this door right here, that the door sags down when you open it. Also, if you were looking on top, it's hard to see, but it also sags down and the lines don't match up. If I shut it, you can see it lines up again, but as soon as you open it, it sinks down. We've had times where it doesn't even shut at all, and so I've gotten very frustrated with it. Why are you doing that? Aaron's doing a little fancy camera work, I'm not sure why. But if you'll let me have it, I'll do the rest of the video. Thank you, babe, for your assistance, my lovely assistant. But in any event, what we're gonna do here is there's some door hinge pins. One of them is right there. And then this right here, there's a spring, and there's a professional tool that I bought. And this is another pin that's called the roller pin. And then you have another pin down here that needs to be replaced, and there's bushings. And then I'm gonna try to remove this boot, and we're gonna see if this door will come completely out. As you can see on this particular door, if I can hold it open, the roller is completely bent and pushed to the side. And so there's a lot of work that needs to be done with this door, but the goal is you can see it's really sags down. I don't know if my wife had that angle, but once you close it, it kind of matches up. But what it causes is it causes the opening to hit this striker bar wrong, and then your door won't even shut, and it doesn't even shut good anyway. So anyway, that's what we're going to be working on today, and I want to show you guys some of the tools I got. All right, peace and blessings, everybody. I wanted to show the tools. We got a new spring, so I'm going to put in a new spring once we get it out. They only cost like a couple bucks, so there was no point in not getting a new one. And then you also have what's called a GM door spring tool, and this lets you remove that spring without it flying off and hitting somebody in the head, and it's a really, really good tool, I'm told, for that purpose. This is the roller pin. You saw that my roller was bent and busted, so that'll help replace this roller pin. And then I got two door hinge pins. This is called a door hinge repair kit. You're gonna need two of them. This little piece right here, I've lost it about 3 times. I keep dropping it. It hits my foot and flies off like 50 feet away. So make very careful you don't keep losing your little pieces like I do. But notice that these bushings are different sizes. One of them will slide all the way to the bottom. Notice how far that goes. That doesn't go all the way to the bottom, but this one goes all the way to the bottom. And so when you install those, they're going to be facing each other like this. So you want them facing each other, but you want the one that goes all the way to the bottom at the bottom, if that makes any sense. So you want to pay real close orientation to how these pins are pulled out, and you want to put the bushings in the right spot. So we're going to get to work, see how far we can get today. All right, little update on what's been going on. This tool, it didn't do jack for taking out this old spring. Taking out this old spring, I just used a old prise bar and prized it out, and it popped right out. But I couldn't get that little tool to help me take it out, but maybe it'll help me put it back in. I don't think it's completely useless. I just think it didn't work in my particular case. But anyway, I pulled the boot back, and as you can see, I got the whole door jacked up on wood, so there's the weight's taken off. And I took off the boot, and there's 2 plugs on a 94. I believe 96 and later, I'm not 100% positive. There's 3 plugs. But see, somebody else ran a aftermarket speaker to this door. And so I'm just going to cut that with a pair of cutters, and that'll get all my electrical connections free. And then when I pop out these pins, 1 pin up there and 1 pin down there, the whole door will come off. I'll have to get my lovely assistant, beautiful wife, to come out, and I'll start working on this roller pin next. But anyway, that's where we are right now. Don't forget to pull out your electrical connections. I had to do a lot of fishing. I had to put my finger, and really pull that up to get these, because it was way down deep in there, but there's a lot of slack in that cable. And these connectors are really tricky. They're not straightforward at all. So anyway, it is what it is. We finally got them out of there. I'm gonna cut that aftermarket speaker and let's see how far we can get. All right, praise God Almighty. With the help of my beautiful assistant, lovely wife, we have managed to get the door off. As you can see, it's over there. And it's definitely a two-person job. I don't think you can do it all by yourself. But the problem I got is it's clouded up and it's starting to sprinkle. The worst thing in the world is it starts raining on me when I don't got a door. So I'll have to go get a big tarp or something and figure out if I hope it don't start raining. But as you can see, there's no bushings whatsoever. Once we pulled these two pins off and undid these plugs and cut the aftermarket speaker, I mean, that door came right out. That wasn't a problem. And look in each hole. There's no bushings in any of these holes. And this roller pin, as you can see, is all bent to crap. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's bent. It's really bent. So that'll be good to replace that roller pin. Now you say, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna get this? Because they flanged it off right here. The top of that is all flanged. And to knock that roller pin out, you're gonna have to hacksaw this off right here. Now the new roller pin comes with a clip. See, but I'll have to do that for a long time. Maybe, I don't know, however long it takes me to hacksaw that off. But I want to show you guys something on the door. The door, I was looking for the old bushings. And so let's just back up so you get an idea of what we're going to look at. But there's no bushings there. There's no bushings there. There is one bushing right there. And there's no bushings down there. So the only one that has a bushing is right there. I find that amazing that this whole door, I guess the bushings just got old and corroded. So what we're going to do is we're going to hacksaw this roller pin out of here, put a new roller pin in. I'm going to get my lovely assistant back here and we're going to put the new pins in. We're going to have to hook up all the electrical connections. I've already stripped the aftermarket wires for the speaker. We'll have to strip the other side and put them up with, you know, redneck electrical tape. Hopefully the speakers will continue to work. But that's where we are right now, and let's continue on. All right, we got our door roller pin from rockauto.com for, I forget how much it was, but it was really cheap. I don't think it was more than $10. But anyway, that's what a new one looks like. It's got a little pin on the top, and I hacksawed off the top of that. And as you can tell, mine is bent it's just bent. Okay, so we use this long bar right here with a sharp end. Once I hacksawed it off, see the top end I had to hacksaw off because it was flanged out, and we used that hammer and knocked it out of that hole, knocked it out of this hole right here, right? But we're gonna come back in with the new one, and I'll show you guys once we get it put back in with the new one. All right, we got the new door hinge roller pin in there. And I got to tell you, it was not as easy as I thought it would be. We did manage to get it in there. And this rolls. That'll be where the door rolls. But we got it in there, praise God. And let's go back, put the door back on before it starts raining. Take care, God bless. All right, peace and blessings. I managed to get the bushings in the top, but the bushings won't fit in the bottom. I thought the bushings would go the same, but they don't. But see, I remember pulling this pin out this way, which means it's going to go something like that, right? And I've got a little clip that fits around there to keep it in place. But this pin down here goes down like this, and the other door sits inside it. But this one, the bushings simply will not fit on the bottom one, which means the bushings probably have to go on the door. Now, something that distressed me a little bit is the bushing went on the door here. But when I tried to put the bushing in right there, it broke. So I wasn't too pleased with that. But in any event, we'll put it on, and at least there's a part of the bushing in there. The whole goal is to get the door to be stable. We'll see if this whole works. I'm going to need my lovely assistant to help me pick up this door. It's so heavy, and she's going to have to help hold it in place while I knock the pins back in place. Connect all the wires, and we'll see what happens. I got to put the spring back on too, so a little bit at a time. At least it ain't raining. All right, we got this new spring all in the GM door spring tool, and I'll be looking at that here in a second, but I think I got the bushings on the top right. I really think that both the roller pin, which is right there, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's the, I can't really get the camera because it's on the other side, but that's the door hinge pin, and the bushings I came up from the inside, and I think that's probably right. I could be wrong. These bushings are really fragile, I've learned, and if I had to do it over again, I probably would do it a little bit differently, but I did manage to get them in there. The real trick is the door going to shut right? So I can't really shut the door with this big old boot and all this electrical wire, so I gotta put that back, and I'm gonna have to put this spring back in, and then we'll test the door. All right, peace and blessings, everybody. It got dark on us, so we're gonna do the wrap-up video in the dark. But as you can tell, we have a door roller pin. It's not bent anymore, so that's a good thing. And also, as you can tell, if I can get the camera, we have the new spring, and that tool did come in handy in installing that spring, so that was real good. And then we also have a new door hinge pin with new bushings, and we also have a door hinge pin with new bushings at the bottom here, so that worked out really well. And also we got our electrical boot put back with all the electrical for the door power locks, the power windows, and the speaker. So the real test is, if I can give my lovely assistant a flashlight here, we're going to see if this door closes and lines up properly. But the first test is, if you look at the lines line up a lot better than they did before. And if you open it and just shut it, look at that. It shuts good. And I will say that the striker, if you can light up that striker, babe.
No more sagging.
It's no more sagging, but also I did have to adjust that a little bit. I didn't like having to do that, but when the door picked up from sagging, it no longer lined up with that, believe it or not. And so I had to work on this a little bit. That's a whole nother story, but let's one more time. You look at the line before it shut, it's pretty dang good, and it shuts just fine. That's how you replace the door hinge pins and the door roller on a 1994 Chevrolet pickup. Take care, God bless.